is what? What is what? I have no idea. What is a ganker? What is a jungler? Ah! Okay, calm your tits. Gonna explain it to you. So, there's a lot of roles in Paragon or MOBA in general, and none of it really gets explained. None of it. It's just like, oh yeah, this is new caster support, burst caster, whatever. Doesn't really get explained what the roles are, what they're supposed to do. So here's a quick rundown. Laners are your pushers and your casters. Anybody who's not melee, basically. Well, you know, Narbash withstanding. Anybody who's not considered a fighter or a assassin or a jungler should be in the lane. And laners, if you last hit a minion, you get 100 more experience than if you let the minion just die or let somebody else last hit it. So you're going to want to focus on last hitting minions when you're in a lane, and gaining all that experience as much as you can. Now if you're a jungler, that means you're going to run through the jungle and you're going to kill buff camps now, or buff camps and the white camps. Now, jungle experience is not shared. Lane experience is shared. So if you're in a lane, you're going to get 50% if there's 2 of you there. 75% if there's 2 of you there. 50% if there's 3 of you there. 25% if there's 4 of you there. Now, the killer actually gets 100%. Second person gets 75. Third person, 50. Fourth person. Now, jungles don't work that way, so if you know, a Chimera is in the jungle jungling and a Bellica who's not supposed to be in the jungle comes up and kills what he's trying to kill, he doesn't get that experience at all. So you have to be mindful of that, not do that. Laners lane, junglers jungle. Now, a part of the jungler's responsibility, setting up wards, taking down enemy harvesters, keeping your harvesters up and drained, things like that that can really help out your team in combat. Now that's like Rampage and things like that that are going to be running around the jungle more. Now Kallari is setting up harvesters, setting up wards, and looking for those kills. She is a ganker. Now the difference between a ganker and a jungler is more looking to benefit his team with the jungle, and a Kallari or an assassin is more for going through the jungle, killing what they can, and then looking for those easy kills in the lane to help whoever's laning to lane. Now, you don't want to, as a ganker, jump out, kill the enemy, the opponent that's in the lane, and then kill the minions. You want to leave those minions alone, pop back in the jungle, and kill the minions in the jungle. You don't know what's going on in the lane. You don't know what they're trying to do. Now, if the minions are in the tower, yes, they've progressed obviously too far. If they're at the tower and you've only got 1 minion left on your side, yeah, you're going to want to kill some minions to help them out, even the balance. But basically, you're going to want to leave the minions alone, pop out, get the kill, and pop back in the jungle. That's what you're going to want to do as a ganker. Now, the difference between a push or a carry and the difference between a push and a carry, or a ranger and a caster. Rangers are auto attack fiends. Casters are ability fiends. So a caster is going to have low auto attack damage but high ability damage. So casters are going to be benefiting from mana and everything that comes with that. Rangers are going to be benefiting from attack damage, auto attack damage, your basic attack damage, and anything that helps with that. They both have the same function of pushing down lanes, but a carry is going to be expected to have that high attack damage later on, whereas a caster is going to be expected to have the good ability damage to push really early on and then kind of give way to the carry later on. So it's going to be pushes early on, carries later on, with tanks kind of helping where they can. Now a tank can be multiple things. It can be, basically a tank is mitigating damage in any way possible. So if you've got health regen where you regen 100 health per second, let's say, boom, you're a tank. Because who's hitting you for that much, enough to kill you by themselves before you kill them? Health and health regen and damage, armor, health regen, and health are your main tank tools. So your tanks are going to be Sevarog, Richter, Rampage, Narbash, and Steel. Those are going to be your main tanks. Oh, and Greystone. And they're going to benefit from all of that. And then you can turn that into other things. But they're going to be either holding lanes, and they're not going to be really looking to push the lane, but make sure that that lane does not fall. If they're a tank jungler, that means they're going to be going through the jungle, not dying. They're going to be the ones especially to go after enemy harvesters, go into enemy territory, make sure that their buffs are taken out so that the enemy is kind of on lockdown. Either in the lane or in the jungle, enemies on lockdown. Your wall, they're not getting past you. You're not being a good, effective tank if you're dying all the time. And you need to figure out why you're dying all the time. Fighters are the last things. And they're your Chimeras, your Grexes, sometimes your Greystones, and your Fangmaos. And those are the ones that are going to be getting in and fighting it out. So if, Grimex is coming up the lane, they're going to run towards him, get on him, and stay on him. Stay in their face. Keep fighting. Now, what do they need? They need sustainability. They're not a tank, but they need that sustainability through lifesteal, shields, armor. Not as much, because they're going to want to kill before they get killed. And the health regen. So things like that can really make them stay in that fight and overwhelm their opponent. Now, best to come from behind if you can, but fighters can come from the front because they're not a ganker. They're not like Kallari. They do have, Kallari is going to be all about that fast attack and that fast, or that heavy attack, so that she doesn't get hit, because if she gets hit, it's kind of over. Grux, Chimera, Fang Mao, they can take a hit, so they will, and they're going to overwhelm you. You're going to get them, a quarter of the way down. They're going to get you all the way down. So you're going to want to stay in a lane or hop lanes, where you can, coordinate with your team, find out where you're best needed, and things like that. Pay attention to the I need help. You're going to be the ones to rush over and help, along with junglers. Junglers can, but, if there's somebody in your lane and you're not needed there, somebody calls for help, go rush over and help. Make sure that you're keeping an eye out for that. You can also keep wards up, things like that, help out the junglers. Fighters are very good about that. But their main focus is to, fight. So make sure you pick out the enemy opponents, leave the minions, be it the jungle or the lane, kind of to the other people who aren't as strong and, can't get in those fights and get those kills like you can. Because you're going to have 10 kills, 3 assists, 2 deaths, whereas a ranger's going to have 1 kill, 0 deaths, 2 assists. They need those minions to help them get to where they need to be. So just keep that in mind. Some basic what's what. That's kind of basically every role. A burst caster, last thing, is someone who can shoot their abilities off almost as fast as an auto attack. She is the only burst caster, so she's for keeping that mana that she builds. She's going to build mana, keep that mana, and then pop those abilities off fast. So burst casters are basically just faster casters. You're going to want a lot of cooldown reduction and a lot of mana. So, alright. Like, comment, subscribe. Comments, questions, concerns. Get at me. Cheers.